No problem.
Okay, here we go. Another egg at home. Laid another egg, haven't they?
So Alex, you were telling me you wanted a demolition job tonight or against Wolves. How did that go?
Well, we're set up perfectly for Monday against Wolves, aren't we? Because you don't need me to tell you how that's going to go.
I think that's pretty self-explanatory.
I'm not even bothered anymore. Honestly, I'm just a little bit numb to it, and I know how many we've done of this in the last since that pre-season game when I came back from the Fiorentina, and I was like, Bruno Casemiro ain't gonna work. We've no wing backs. The back three don't know how to defend. We can't defend set pieces. It's just like every game is just Groundhog Day, and I'm not gonna yell and scream about it anymore. I just think it's funny that people. You know what's funny, Christian? I was actually the TikTok I posted on Lenny Yoro.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's gone down like a lead balloon with top reds. They love a bit of Lenny.
Of course.
And to be fair, Yoro is not like someone that I want to pick on. It was just, I think me and you were just talking, and I just sort of said, all I was saying is that maybe he's not the guy, and I think that's a fair thing after what we've seen of Yoro. And then this guy was like, they're in the comments going, make podcast equipment more expensive, the usual shit we get. So I was like, let me guess. I replied to this guy, and I was like, let me guess, you rate Amorim as well? And he went, yeah, like this. I was like, right, okay. First thing he said, if we beat West Ham, we'll be fifth. If Bruno scored a pen. If. No. Anybody that's pro Amorim, it's always hypotheticals with this guy. It's always, what if this happened? What if this happened? I tell you what's happening. Every single game, he plays half the team out of position. We struggle. We get a lucky goal, and then we concede one.
Well, Alex, did you notice when he brings Ugarte on, and then you're moaning about players playing out of position, but then everyone ended up in different positions.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was
it was just everybody moved, wasn't it? I mean, it was the.
That's what I mean, though, Alex. But we were talking about this like the other day. There's these other channels that hyping up. Yeah, win against Crystal Palace, good ground to win at. But me and you were highlighting all these things, and then you're hearing Amorim's name getting chanted round, by top reds, and then then they're booing at the end.
Yeah, I mean, what are they booing? What do you think? What do you think United fans are booing there today? I mean, if you're watching this and you were there,
Alex, to me, right? So if I was a United fan and I'm walking away from that game, and you do hang on and you win 1-0, I would be honest with the person I was driving home with in the car and just be like, it was dog shit, that wasn't it? It was fucking shite. I nearly fell asleep. I'd have left if it weren't for paying me money to be here. But these lot go from that extreme to, no, I'll boo him because we conceded. Well, hang on, but you would have said you were happy if you got the win.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, Christian, football's a entertainment sport. The reason it's so expensive is because we pay to be entertained, right? Not just going to the ground. We all pay our Sky subscription, which is ridiculous. And we want to sit there and be entertained, right? It's the same principle as anything. You pay money to go to the cinema, you want to watch a good movie. How these guys... And look, I don't have a season ticket, fair play. I am on the waiting list. Hopefully I get allowed on the season ticket scheme after Amorim's gone, because if they offer me one now, I'd say no. I'm not watching this with my own eyes. It's fucking shit. And I don't understand how they can stand there, like you said, and Ruben Amorim. What glory days is he bringing? I must be missing. So I get, Christian, I need a new telly again. I know we've been through this in the last 6 months. I must need.
We're going through more tellies.
Mate, I need to get a direct debit with Curry's because I'm missing something. I need a new telly because what glory days is Ruben Amorim bringing? I see a team that's got blatant issues all over the place. Wing backs who aren't wing backs. Midfielders in a midfield two who aren't good enough in a midfield two. A number 9 who can't hold it up or running behind. What is Joshua Zirkzee? Can someone tell me? What is he? Is he a fucking guy from the car park that just let have a game? He's shite.
The thing is, Alex, as well. It's like I'm watching a lot of your plays, and even like these guys that are meant to be, your star players, and Buemo.
Oh God, he
I
was
thought he was
awful.
very poor
Fuck
tonight.
me and Buemo was shit
I
tonight.
thought, and it was like I heard on the comms in the first half, and fair play, he did have a little run at his fullback a few times, but I was hearing Neville talk up like Ahmad. Oh, he looks the only bright spark, and I'm thinking,
Yeah.
what are you seeing that's making what makes
Yeah.
this a bright spark? What, because he's ran at a defender and ultimately didn't do anything?
Yeah, I think.
How low is the bar?
I think what it is with Ahmad is because you know why he looks probably a little bit better than he is because he's the only player that can receive it and retain the ball. I think I said to you he's a bit like Mata, but obviously less end product. And I think that's exactly what he is. I think in a team who can't take the ball under any pressure, he can, and he usually retains it. But the creativity is lacking with Ahmad. I mean, he looks neat and tidy, but he's not explosive. He's just he's a decent footballer, like mid-table.
And I'm not even picking on him, by the way, because out of all of them, he is being played out of position, probably one of the worst that he fell victim to this. So I'm not picking on the guy. It's just more, I just get annoyed with the bullshit propaganda that gets put out there, especially when I'm watching it mid-game and I'm thinking, am I watching the same match?
Yeah, well, this is it. I said, I need a new TV. Maybe you do. I mean, this is the thing with, like I said, it's all hypotheticals with Amorim, isn't it? It's if he did this and he did that, and if he had Carlos Baliba, and then it'll be Elliot Anderson, and then it'll be someone else. Then he'll need a fucking wing back. It'll never end because
it'll be another striker, Alice. Because the thing is, he got excuses made for him before Sesko had even kicked a ball. So it didn't even matter whether Sesko was shit because apparently someone found out because obviously they're close to Amorim enough to know that this was not his guy.
Yeah,
it's the same bullshit. And then if he'd have got Watkins, it'd have been like, oh right. By the way, he's not exactly been in form other than last night. Christ, I think that was his first goal in months.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But there's always another excuse loaded, and I just don't know how one man has got so much backing with so little evidence or anything to show for it.
Yeah. It's really interesting, isn't it? Because I had a bit of back and forth with a guy on our channel, and he was talking about the fixtures and United's difficult start. They were 8th, 9th, 10th because the fixtures: City away, Liverpool away, Chelsea at home, Arsenal at home, first game of the season.
Yeah.
When the fixtures calm down a little bit, United are going to show it's going to be better. And to be honest, it's like It's not even anything to do with the results really, but also the performances have got worse against the poorer opposition. And I look at these last 5 games, and after this little 3-game win streak that happened, we've played Forest, Tottenham, Everton, Palace, West Ham, 5 games. We've won one of them, Christian, which was a fairly scabby 2-1 win against a team that played 3 days before in Crystal Palace. So Forest, Tottenham, Everton, West Ham. These are the fixtures everyone's telling me. You're going to see the true Ruben Amorim experience. You're going to see the wins. It's not that they're not winning. They're actually just not creating. They're not scoring. They don't look like scoring. Thinking tonight, how many chances did we create tonight?
I mean, to be honest, United were lucky not to lose in the end. I think Jarrod Bowen wriggles into really good space. I thought Bowen tonight, by the way. I think Bowen's due a move. I really do no disrespect to West Ham, but I
think he's dangerous, but I actually thought Bowen was poor end product wise.
In terms of being wasteful, but I think if you look at West Ham, I mean, they look to him to do everything. When he receives the ball, he wriggled in and out and got some space really well tonight. He has little to no support at all. Fair play to West Ham, they dug in. It's a good point for them, I suppose. But if you're looking at United, I mean, the game after they scored, you'd be thinking, right, with the system you've got, you don't really want to see West Ham getting out of their half. You want to see United pushing on, penning them in. Do you know what I mean? Push the wing backs forward, but it just doesn't happen. No. And United end up just sleepwalking into errors, and you could sort of see it coming. You could sort of see a disaster brewing.
Yeah, I mean, we've had this. We can't defend, can we? We've got a poor defensive record, and I think this season we've kept 1 clean sheet, and we're 14 games in. Is it 1 or 2 clean sheets? Obviously, didn't get one tonight, and you know who's really counting that? I think it's just Sunderland. Sunderland's the only clean sheet we've had this season, Christian, and we are how many games in are we now? Are we 14 games in, bro? Yeah, 14 games in. We've won 6 of them, so we've played 14 games this season. We've not won 8. And this is the thing. This is the scary thing with the league table, because a lot of you Amarim in people, they're looking up. They're going, well, we're 3 points off this. We're 4 points off this. You want to be looking this way, because we're 2 or 3 games away from dropping 7 places. That's the truth of it. I'm not saying that's going to happen, because you might scab a win. You might. There's no. You can't hang your hat on anything we're watching at the moment. You might win 2-1 at Palace. You're going to draw 1-1 against West Ham. I mean, I tell you what, Monday's going to be funny, because like that's the one that's going to show everything up, really, because they're the worst team in Prem history. That's not my opinion. That's fact.
You keep seeing this. You keep seeing this as well, Alex. You know, and it keeps happening. It'll happen again probably next week because of the way this weird league's going this year. And you'll hear before the game, he said big chance for United and Ruben Amorim. They can go into the top 4 or whatever. But it's like equally, are they giving you any confidence that they can keep any sort of run together over a 38-game season and break into a top 4? There's absolutely no chance. And I said this with Chest after the Palace game when me and you did the episode on it. Anyone that wants to go and watch that back, I said, no, United are not capable. They cannot put a run together. I thought, you won there. Do I see you doing it 2 in a row? No, I don't. Yeah. United are the most untrustworthy team. And when you were talking about the defensive record, Alex, for a team that's so poor offensively and haven't really got any notable goal scorers or someone you can rely on, you can't afford to be this bad at the other end, because these 1-0s, when it's coming to the 70th, 80th minute, you know you're not getting over the line, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, the goal difference doesn't lie. We've got a +1 goal difference after 14 games. This is consistent. I mean, we are pretty average at both ends, really, and we certainly struggle against we struggle against teams that sit in. We look more dangerous against better teams because it's a negative system. It's a sit back and hit on the counter attack system, and that's what it is, and that's why we have a little bit of joy against better sides. But like I said, I'm looking at the league table here, Christian. In the last 5 games, let's go down the list. Crystal Palace are 5th. Okay, so they're the best team we've played. In the last 5 games, Everton 10th, Tottenham 11th, Forest 16th, West Ham 18th. We didn't beat any of them.
No. We didn't beat. And it wasn't like you've not outplayed any of them.
No, we've played 4. We've played 4 bottom half teams in the last 5 games, and we've not beat any. And one of them was down to 10 men at OT. This is not small sample size. This is consistent, and this is to everybody that said to me the fixture list was tough. Yeah, the fixture list was tough, but United don't do well against mid-table to lower opposition. It's a scabby system. You rely on trying to scab goals and results by sitting in and then maybe hitting them on the counter attack, and that's all it is. It's not rocket science to me.
Yeah.
You don't need coaching badges to understand it, and I honestly I just find it hilarious that tonight, because like obviously there's people in my TikTok going on the Lenny Yorovig going, if we beat West Ham we'll be 5th, and then we go and lay an egg. Like, they don't learn, do they? You know, they don't learn. How can you have any faith? I have no faith in Monday. And Wolverhampton Wanderers are on pace to have 6 points at the end of the season. Actually under, I'm being generous there, because they've played 14 games and they've got 2 points. So West Ham are on for 5 points over a 38-game season. That's how bad they are. Derby County's record is going to get smashed, and not in a good way.
Yeah, exactly. I think with United as well, you know, I saw obviously we've got a group chat with our cousin, Pat, who's been on the channel a few times, and I saw you put to him about what's your prediction or something like that for the Wolves game. And he asked you, were you at home or not? And you were like, well, it just says it all, doesn't it? Like, you shouldn't be worrying where you are, because like you just said yourself, they're on course to be the worst Premier League team in history. So I think the thing is, United fans do not have confidence in this guy or the way he sets the team up. But I don't get it. As a mass support, I heard a lot of boos tonight at that final whistle, which I agree, by the way. You shouldn't be booing that. It's fucking pathetic. You're playing West Ham. You know what I mean? Any other and let's be honest, Alex, for the first 20 minutes, I thought they were having the better of it. To be fair, I thought that to say they were in the game is an understatement. They were playing some, they were getting in your half, pushing you back a little bit. Yeah. United didn't look comfortable. And then I don't understand how you go from you're singing his name because you're winning, and then it's booing. I'd love to talk to these fans, Alex. Yeah. I'd love to hear from their point of view. I don't know how much of a coherent conversation it will be, but I would like to know what's going on in their head.
I don't know, honestly. Like it's a weird one, isn't it? Because, like you said, I mean, they're booing at full time, but then they're watching a team that's dysfunctional. I mean, I can tell you the problems. I told you. I said after the pre-season game. I said that if Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro, these two, by the way. I mean, let's just touch on them a little bit. I know we do this to death and back, but let's just do it tonight. A midfield duo who treat the ball like a hand grenade, can't run. They don't care for keeping the ball. I love it how Amorim watched them two in the Europa League final and was like, I'm going to run this for the full season.
More of that. Yeah.
And bench Mainu. Mainu's an unused sub tonight in a game that Diogo Dalot scored 1 goal and we drew 1-1. Kobbie Mainu's an unused sub. Kobbie Mainu's a good footballer, man. I've seen Kobbie Mainu with my own eyes. I've seen him be the best player on the pitch in a Euros semi-final against Holland. I know how good this guy is. He got man of the match against Manchester City in an FA Cup final and scored the winner, by the way. And he's an unused sub in a game that Man United draw at home to West Ham with a Diogo Dalot solo goal. If anything, I don't know how you can just watch this and defend it. And that's the thing of the whole system's just a fucking shambles, because you're playing an extra defender over Mainu, and then Dalot is the only goal scorer.
Do you know what, Alex, right? I'd go as far as saying I actually think this is worse than last season, because last season he had the excuse of it's not his team, the players don't fit the system, all that shite. Now he's gone and bought players, and other than, yes, these individual moments specifically from Brian and Bruno, other than that, you have not improved. I don't see United as a better team this year. I really don't. You've got better individuals that will give you some more moments, because the heap of junk you had before it was just that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't see any improvements in this team. And anyone that differs on that opinion, I'd love you to tell me why you do see that it's improved. Because you've got a game, you're playing West Ham at home, a struggling West Ham team, and you are relying on Dalot to bail you out of jail.
Yeah. There's just nothing you can hang your hat on. There's no patterns of play. Like I remember, if you name any great team in history, and not even a great team, like even just a top 4, top 5 team, I can tell you exactly their patterns of play. I know how they're going to play. I can tell you their style of play. Does anybody know how a Ruben Amorim team attacks and creates? He's been here a year. Can anybody tell me what is it? Does he play? Is it counter-attacking? Is it route one? Is it possession? What is it? I don't.
It's like, even Alex, a lot of your goals as well, and I said this a few weeks ago, they seem to just be like opportunistic moments. Yeah. You know, like when it's been put in the mixer and someone will score. It's like tonight is a great example. You know what I mean? It wasn't like Casemiro, a piece of it wasn't a piece of magic. It felt kindly, decent touch, and he's finished it. Fair play to him. But these are not, like you say, you want to be seeing some patterns of play. It's like, right, we know what we're doing. We're going down the wing. We know that Ahmad's linking up with Mbeumo. We're doing an overload and we're cutting it back. There is nothing. It's like anyone at any point just try and do something, and that is all I see.
It's like stuff happens that's just like Casemiro teeing off from 35 yards. That happened. It's like,
but Alex, they've got the freedom to do it.
We just twat stuff into the box and just fucking hope it falls to someone, and that's the goal tonight. It's just terrible. Like I don't even know what it is. I
can't believe, Alex,
this style
these same fans, right, watched you under Ollie, and you know what? In fairness to Ollie, we knew what you were, and you were actually on your day. You were very good at it. And to be fair, you outplayed a lot of big teams with that. It wasn't like these opportunistic wins or just fluke moments. You set the team up, and you beat my team a few times under Ollie. United had a pattern of play. They played quick 1-2s. They looked a good side on the day. I don't ever watch this Man United side under Amorim and think that is a good side. I'm yet to do that. And that's not because I'm a City fan, because I'm telling you right now, I have thought that in the past, even in recent years. I've thought, no, United on the day, you know, they're not easy customers. I tell you what, I don't think that now. No, I am the furthest I've ever been from that.
For good reason. I mean, that's the thing. You speak about teams of the past that's not, you know, 4th, 5th. St. Ollie came second, actually. Jose came second. Like, we've not been utter dross. Came second to Man City Centurions. Like, we're not. Yeah. We've not been an embarrassment like we are right now. I mean, so I think there's no relationships. There's nothing I can hang my hat like with Ollie. I know Ollie's. What happened with Ollie was the players let him down, but then he failed because he didn't drop the players. I know. But in Ollie's defence, he's going, Maguire will get back to the player he was. Like, I'll keep playing Maguire. He's my captain. He was part of a great team that came second in the COVID season. Martial, I'm going to keep playing Martial because he was a key player as my number 9, and he held the ball up and brought in Dan James, Rashford, Lingard. Whether you like them players or not, Ollie was like, I've seen this work. Now, those players never hit them heights again. And then obviously the signings weren't very good. But in fairness to Ollie, it's like Pogba, Matic, Bruno worked for me. You know, when I'm looking at Amorim and I'm going, mate, seriously, what? Patrick Dorgu and Dalot, when's that work for you, bro? On the left wing. Don't say Dalot scored tonight. Fuck me, if you're that much of a lunatic. But you get my point where I think of those teams when Ten Hag got sacked, that was just self-destruction. Ten Hag set up a good side. Eriksen, Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes, he had a red-hot Rashford, and even Weghorst did a job in that little 6-month period. With this, what could Amorim sit there and go, I'm hoping to find something with that? What's he hoping to find? I know these wing-backs aren't very good. Ahmad's not good defensively, Dalot's not good offensively. The midfield isn't good enough in a 2. You're going to get overrun like they got overrun tonight. They don't look after the ball, Christian. Bruno and Casemiro, I'd said it to you and Patrick. As soon as they get it, they just fucking twat. It's like a cross between... It's like if Jose Mourinho's negative United team and Sam Allardyce had a baby, it'd be this team and this style.
But in fairness, Alex, this is where I'd look at Amorim and be like, I don't know what he's expecting because, like you said before, they are what they are. He knew this before he deployed it at the start of the season. It's not a shock, is it, the way them two play?
Let's say Amorim isn't stubborn. Let's say he sees something. What do you think he's thinking?
He's a lunatic, if that is the case.
What do you think Amorim's looking at this team? So we've got Wolves on Monday, and he's going to pick 3-4-3. What do you think he's expecting to change?
Honestly, Alex, this is where I'm stuck because we are watching the same games. We're watching the same players perform the same way pretty much week in, week out. So I really don't know what he's hoping for. He just keeps repeating the same shit. And it is predictable, changes defenders, changes like in-game that really just do nothing. It's, you know, borrowing from Peter to pay Paul. I don't know what he thinks is going to change with what he's doing. But I think there's deeper issues, and I just wanted to ask you this. Do you think Man United as a club... Do you think Man United as... Yo, I can hear myself back there, bro.
At the end of the season. Actually, London, I'm being generous there.
Yo.
Sorry. I forgot to turn the other mic off. Sorry.
Right, okay.
Let me just sort something out. Yeah, sorry.
I was going mad then. I could hear my own voice in the head.
It's the
No, I was just going to ask you, right, so do you think Man United as a club are ran with any sort of ambition anymore?
Well, I mean, I don't really know, to be honest, because the thing is with it is like they're obviously... Oh, mate, just give me 5 minutes. Let me just...
No, yeah, that's fine, yeah. I think the thing is for me, I really don't think Man United are run with much ambition. And I think the fans don't exactly help it because the fans are happy to accept this mediocre bollocks. And it just seems like 1 win in 3, 1 win in 4 is enough to keep this ticking over. And that's why this guy is still in a job.
Yeah,
However, I don't see that this guy has to really think or worry about much change. or what does he expect from the next game? Because I don't think there's any pressure on him. I think the club as a whole are happy with this. Alex, when we hear these buzzwords now, project, they're happy with projects or whatever. What the fuck is the project then? Can he come out in a press conference and can he honestly tell you what the project is? In fairness to Mikel Arteta, Alex, he did actually have a project. I know that became a bit of a meme, but he did have an idea.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? It's like Amorim. That's what I'm saying to you. I don't know what he thinks when he goes home to bed. Does he think something's going to change? Like over, if you just keep playing some, like say I remember like Rooney was always a bit of a. If he came back from an injury, it'd take him 5-6 games and then he'd start scoring again. It's like, what does he think? Does he think the issue is repetition here? Like, because I don't see it. I don't understand what he thinks is going to change on Monday or Saturday. Like, what does he look at and go, the penny's going to drop there? Like, in fairness to like your predecessors, like we spoke about, Ollie should have dropped Maguire. We know that Maguire was a mess after that incident in Greece, but at the same time, he was thinking, "I'll keep playing Harry, and he will get back to the level from last season."
Yeah, you could see the idea behind it. Yeah.
At least I could go. I would have just called it with Maguire and gone, "You need to step out for a minute." But obviously, Ollie had loyalty, and that was his downfall. With this, I'm looking at it. I'm going, "What are his coaching staff talking about? Like, what are they saying? Are they going, oh?" This is going to, like, if you keep going, Bruno and Casemiro is going to work in a two.
I think the thing is, though, Alex, if you look at, like, a lot of top managers, I feel like they would accept opinions from their coaching staff. I feel like he will have assembled that team he's got that massively back the system he puts in place, and I don't think they will ever sway from it. So in terms of them coming up with any ideas, like, for instance, my club, Pet Linders or whatever it's called. I think they would have a relationship in which he could give opinions. I feel like he has surrounded himself with yes men who massively back whatever he's going to do, because how could this go on this long without someone suggesting maybe we go in a different direction with this group of players?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the coaching staff are as clueless as him, because like you said,
that's what it would lean to.
Nobody's, like Fergie always said about Carlos Queiroz, I needed Queiroz. He was honest with me, and he gave me different opinions that I needed to consider whether I listened to him or not. And obviously this is just madness, because we're not getting anywhere with it. Like we're not getting, it's not getting better. And this is the thing, I'm looking at these fixtures. Okay, Monday against Wolves, right? Look, anything other than a win is disgraceful, right? They've nearly played everyone they've not won yet. They're not even drawing against teams. So forget that. But Christian, you've got Villa, Newcastle, Bournemouth coming up. What are we going to do with them three? Like,
I mean, you asked me about them games, right? So just tell me who's home and who's away there, and I'll give you an honest prediction.
I think Bournemouth are at home. I'm going to sec.
Then again, Alex, actually, I don't even know why I've asked you that question, because I don't think you're picking up points whether it's home or away, so that's just stupid.
Yeah, the next game is obviously Wolves away on Monday. Then we've got another Monday night game. Fuck me. Bournemouth at home Monday night again. And then we've got Villa away and Newcastle at home. But the Newcastle at home terrifies me, to be honest. I can see that being a really poor one. Bournemouth, God, I mean, I don't know, Christian.
I'll tell you exactly what will happen, actually, Alex, thinking about it with them three. You'll probably cobble a win against one, and the fans will say you're back. And then the other two will be a load of dross. But, Alex, this is the best job, I'm telling you, in world football. I don't know why everyone says, oh, it's the worst job to say. It's the best job.
Yeah,
there's fuck all pressure from his superiors, and there's fuck all pressure from the fans. Well, from a huge part of the fans, because I had a look at the TikToks you posted before, and it's littered with the fans like this are the problem. What, fans that hold this bollocks accountable? You know, what are they doing tonight? I know what they're doing tonight, them fans that are telling you that. They're burying their head till the next game, and hopefully they can then come out the shell if they get a win. Do you know what I mean? You've got to be consistent. Watch football with your eyes and just give a fair opinion. I'm not having anybody who's watching this thinking it's good. I would not put up with this for this long if I was them lot.
You're right. It's got like this. It's got all the combinations of all of our managers' worst bits, hasn't it? It's got like doesn't win games. Ten Hag.
Arrogant.
Defensive Jose.
Yeah.
Boring Van Gaal. It's got it's like a combination of our worst three.
Alex, you are right, but do you actually? I'd go further than that. I'd say it's actually the worst of the worst,
Yeah.
because you could say Jose defensive, yeah, but he was quite decent at it. You know what I mean? I know it was shocking to watch. However, it was quite effective. His teams look defensive but can't defend.
Yeah, exactly. That's the maddest shit in it. I mean, that's the thing that like I said. I mean, I don't look at anything and think patterns of play. Like patterns of play. Like where's my Van der Sar to Wes Brown to Rio to Scholes to Carrick back to Everett into midfield to Hargreaves. Like where's my pattern of play? Like what is the pattern of play? Le Mans twats it to Xerxes and hopefully we keep it. Is that what this is? It's hoofball. And them two in centre mid. How can you have a two-man midfield in 2025 that can't? They're not really athletic and they have no care for keeping the ball. They just twat it over the top. It's
Alex, but how can you have any sort of pattern of play when the team changes every single half? You know what I mean? How could there be a pattern of play? How could there be any sort of relationships that are built? And don't get me wrong, I'm not letting the players off completely. They're fucking dross. However, you have got to look at Amorim and go, why have you've not just got here now. You've been here a long time, cock.
Yeah.
How do you not know in a game where you can play the 11 that starts and keep them through? Yeah. How have you not hit that point yet?
Honestly, I've no idea, to be honest. I think that he doesn't see issues with changing stuff continually. And he doesn't, especially with the back five, because I look at that back five and I'm like, you know, defensively, not many teams change stuff unless it's enforced, and he changes stuff like the drop of a hat, you know, and like, I think, well, he obviously just doesn't see an issue with continuity, and that's another thing where, like you said, it's just all the time. I mean, you look at the back again tonight. Yoro and Dorgu on for Dallo and Heaven.
Yeah,
it's you know, and I mean, I'm surprised there weren't more changes. To be honest, that's a light night for Amorim. The midfield, Ugarte in, Bruno up to number 10. How many players finished the game where they started in under Amorim? And this is the thing with we can't create or score. And Dallo scores tonight. Shite fullback, and there's not really any offensive changes. It's like Bruno push on, and like that's it. Like I think of it like Mount for Cunha, not really an attacking change, is it? That's a defensive change, right?
Well, how many times with Chelsea were they, you know, when they were playing the same system and winning the league? How many times were they putting Matic in the front line to finish the game?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, your midfield two.
Never.
If you're playing a midfield two, you can't have a number 10 in there.
Yeah. But it's how in game he's changing it.
Well, this is it. He has no idea, does he? And that's. I mean, if you have a player, if you can't get more than one goal in a game against West Ham, and Kobbie Mainoo's an unused sub, and your substitutes are Dorgu, Ugarte, Mount, Yoro, who else got on? Was it them four? That's your subs in a game that in a 1-1 game against West Ham where Diogo Dalot scores. Kobbie Mainoo doesn't get on over Dorgu, Ugarte, Yoro, these players. Fucking Ugarte's getting on over Kobbie Mainoo in a game that you score one goal against a relegation candidate at home. But it's fucking insane, man. Like I don't understand like what we're watching, and like I'm not even angry. I'm actually just sat on the sofa watching it before. Like I'm just not bothered. I wasn't bothered if we win, lose or draw, to be honest, because I know it's not going to work. So there's no point in me getting like overly worked up about it. Christian, do you think fans are like really going to bed devastated after nights like this? Look, I want United to win games. I'm not like that bad. But at the same time, I'm not losing any sleep over this because I can see the problems. I know it's not going to get better unless he rips up his ideology. But like, do you think fans that really backhammer him are they gutted after nights like tonight? I don't understand it.
No, and I think there's two different types of fans. You're going to bed not bother because you don't expect anything from the start, and you know this guy's just never going to work, and he's too arrogant to change anything. So you're on that side of the pillar. Now the other fans who back him, and they say they can see where it's going. Them same fans, if he finishes 9th this year, will say it's progress.
9th progress.
They will say, Alex, what do you honestly think? So we're sat here, end of the season, you finish 9th, 8th, whatever. You are honestly telling me that everyone will be going, now get him out, that's it. They won't, Alex. They will not. They will lean back to the season before and they will go, no, look, there's progress. Yeah, there's progress on his absolute dog shit season where he nearly got you relegated. There wasn't hard to be progress. Yeah. Man United, if you are finishing near a mid-table than you are the top, the manager has to go. It's as simple as that. And I'm a Man City fan. How the fuck would I have hold your managers more accountable than your fans who have seen the great times, apparently?
Yeah, you know what's interesting? You're looking at the league table. We're 3 points off this and we're 4 points off this. Do you know what we're 3 points off, Christian? 14th.
Yeah, Alex, get the table up, right? And you tell me. So let's have a look at it, right? So
Bournemouth are 14th on 19. We're 8th on 22. So for everyone keep going, we can crack the top 4, which is pointless because it's never going to work. We are actually 3 points off, almost where we finished last year. We finished 15th last year. Fulham are 15th at the minute, 5 points behind us. We're as close to Fulham as we are to City in second.
Yeah.
So I don't see this being there's been no improvement, like you said. Goals scored column 22 and 14. Right, it's better. You spent 250 million, mate.
So let's rule out, Alex, the current top 4, yeah? Because they are all finishing above Man United this season.
Yeah.
Let's go into... Then you've got Liverpool, who I'd say are going to be thereabouts. I think whether they sack Slot or not, I think that they've got too good of a squad. So I'm going to go Liverpool. I'm not putting this in any sort of order, but Liverpool, Newcastle. Let's go them. Do you think they're going to finish above them, Alex?
Do I think United will finish above Liverpool and Newcastle?
Yeah.
No.
Right, there you go. So already the top 7 is full, yeah? So then if you go any further and you look at the teams around, you're then looking at it and you're like, right, even your Tottenhams, say your Brentfords,
I was going to say
your Sunderland, your Palace. Do I see Man United being consistent enough to get ahead of any of these?
Not really. I mean, like you said, it's a toss of a coin between 8th and 14th at the minute. I mean, if you're going to if United lost to Villa, Newcastle, and draw to Bournemouth, let's say they take 1 point from them 3 games, which I think is very, very realistic. Could be 0. They will probably be 13th, Christian, maybe 14th. Depends on who plays who in that sort of. Obviously, you're going to be bottom half if you lose 3. And this is if you beat Wolves on Monday. I mean, that's not a given, Christian, and that's sums the Amorim era up for me. Is that you've got the worst team in Premier League history on Monday night, and we're talking about who's confident going into that? Because I ain't. I won't be surprised if we slip up there.
Alex, you know what the
slip up. It would even classify as a slip up. I don't know.
You know at the end of last season, after that disaster, you'd have thought that he would have had a serious talking to or had to go into some meetings that maybe would be difficult. I mean, you'd like to think so if you're a Man United supporter after that season.
Yeah.
Now, if they were to come to him with some questions and they went, look, what do you see as an acceptable season and an acceptable finish for this club next year under your reign in your second season, and we're pumping this much money and giving you this many players, what do you think his answer would have been? Because if he said anything below European places, and I mean as in top 6, and Man United as a club said, okay, that's fine. If he said 8th and they went, yeah, that's all right, I find that absolutely bewildering.
I think apparently it is 6th. That's
where he said.
No, I think that's what the club have said, that it should be 6th.
Well, they're not getting that.
European. Well, we're 8th now, aren't we? And
they're not getting that. They're not getting 6th.
Christian, this is it. People talk about this run of games that we've got. Wolves, okay, Monday, fair enough. But then, like I said, you've got Bournemouth, Villa, Newcastle the next 3. what are we going to get from them three? Like, are we gonna win 2 out of 3 there? Like, I don't.
I mean, Bournemouth's the one you look at that you're gonna have to say you're gonna take max points there,
Christian,
but
like,
that's going to be difficult.
We're not beating anyone like at home.
No.
I mean, Palace. We've won 1 game in 5, and let's be honest, like, there's a bit of an asterisk to that because Palace have no squad and we're playing Strasbourg on a Thursday and we got a full week's rest. This is another thing where it's like 1 game a week. I ain't seen anything. I ain't seen anything different to last season. 1 game a week or not. I know it's dysfunctional. I'm not even, like, you can tell Christian tonight I'm not wound up. I'm not bothered anymore. Like, if they
you've hit the age of acceptance.
Yeah, like, if I'm in a watch along on Monday and we're shit, I'll be getting pissed off. But post game, like I said, when Patrick Dorgu ran down the left wing tonight in the last 10 minutes and twatted across behind for a goal kick, I just laughed. I laughed because I don't know how anybody can sit there and if you're remotely, like, defending Amorim and watch Patrick Dorgu twat across out of play from a position where we used to have Nani, Ronaldo, Giggs, Martial, Rashford, these players. If you're remotely groaning at Patrick Dorgu's spoon cross out from a left wing position, but you defend Amorim, you're a fucking idiot. Because the only reason Patrick Dorgu's in them places is because of the twat in the dugout. That's simple maths.
What did you think, Alex, about Dorgu at the end? And it just seemed like he wasn't in any sort of rush. I don't know. Did he think 1-1 was a decent result to hold out for or something? I mean, I couldn't believe that. I tell you what,
the thing that I really hate, and there's quite a few things in football, but you know when it's going, like, the ball's bouncing towards a player and they let it go out of play for a throw in instead of trying to take a touch. Dorgu, he had no one near him and he'd rather take the throw in, and then, like you said, he's fucking trying to throw it in and he's control the ball, mate. You're a fucking left back for Man United. Like, seriously, you can't control the ball and no pressure.
You know, when players are doing that, Alex, you know the type of players you expect that from are just, like, pretty low to shit players.
Well,
do you know what I mean?
Because
you're like, well, they don't have confidence to keep the ball in. They actually think it's going to be better if they throw in and just offload it to somebody else, someone better, someone more.
You spoke about Diallo. Why Diallo stands out in this team is because he's the only one that can receive the ball and retain it.
Yeah.
Because Bruno Fernandes cannot receive it under pressure and retain it. He's good facing forwards. He can't receive it on the half turn. Casemiro tonight, mate. I hope he's watching his pockets when he gets home. He'll be getting robbed on the way home. Where's my phone gone?
Yeah, I think as well. I think as well. I mean, you look at Amorim's summer, and obviously we spoke at length about his choice to keep Bruno and play him in the position he has. And it screams to me, I mean, I'll be kind with this word because I could be so much harsher, but it just screams naivety that if he thought that midfield would be good enough to get him 6th, because forget Mainu. Mainu was never in his plans, evidently.
No.
So that was never part of why you would say we're finishing 6th, because to be honest, Mainu is not, he's barely a squad player. He doesn't even get on.
Yeah, he doesn't. He didn't tonight. Like I said, you draw one at 1-1 to a relegation team at home and Mainu doesn't even get on. It's dire, man. I mean, I feel so sorry for the kid. And he sat there watching Ugarte. Come on, Cock, your turn. Dorgu, come on. Can't control the football. Kobe Mainu stood down the touchline warming up. Mate, I was man of the match in the FA Cup final against Man City. Scored the winner. And I'm watching Ugarte. I'm watching Dorgu. I'm watching fucking Dross. Mason Mount. Come on ahead of me.
Yeah.
It's I feel so sorry for him, and if you defend Amorim, you deserve to lose Mainu and go and watch him flourish somewhere else, because I just feel sorry for him, and like I said, he might get a loan move, and I'd love to see him get a loan. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I really want to. People are so quick to jump on any sort of Amorim victory or anything like that, but I'd love to see Kobe Mainu go and play some football before the World Cup and show people what he can do while we struggle in this abomination of a fucking system.
Agreed. Alex, listen, I'd love Mainu. I'd love Mainu in my side. I mean, we've seen what the guy's capable of, and I feel like it's easy to hit someone when they're down. And I've seen a few City content creators and say, "Oh, I told you this." You hype up players. No, the thing is, yeah, I am on your side with certain players when they hype up a load of fucking dross. When Patrick Dorgu, I could see from day one this kid couldn't control the football, and I knew that's not the kind of thing that he's going to develop. He's just a poor player. Now, that's a different scenario, but Kobbie Mainoo, no, whole different entity, and I do think he'll flourish. I think he'll go on to great things, but I know it's difficult for you lot to hear. I think he needs to move elsewhere because Ruben Amorim, I don't see this as a situation. I was having a conversation with this guy in the boozer. I think it was like the start of the year, and he's a big United fan, and he was going, "Well, Mainoo wants a loan because he's just backing that Amorim will get sacked and he can come back in." I'm like, well, yeah, this was start of the season, so maybe. Now I'm looking at this, Alex. I do not see Man United sacking Amorim unless it's as bad as last year, which I don't see as possible just because of the individual upgrades he made. So I think he will do just about enough. I think as long as he gets top half, I think his job's safe, which I think he will get top half.
Do you think?
Because you will have these results where you will... out of them three, if I'm looking at it rationally... I'd go, no, you really, watching the way United play recently, I mean, I sat there and watched the full Everton game, sat there and watched the full game tonight. I actually did miss a lot of the Palace one, so, but I heard they weren't exactly great or lighting anything up. So you'd look at it and go, they'll lose all three. They won't. I reckon they'll win one, probably win the one you won't expect and lose to the other two.
I don't think we're going to get top half, really. I'm not hating, I just don't see
So gun to your head, Alex, where are you thinking?
If he gets the full season, I think we'll come 12th. That's what I said on that TikTok prediction. I think I said if Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro start all season in midfield, we'll come 12th, and we're a couple of bad results away from sitting in 12th. So,
do you feel, Alex? Do you feel, Alex, you're just in a bit of a hole in terms of like, if I was to go to you. Right, you can sign what you want in, you can have 200 million to spend in Jan. This is not going to happen, by the way, but just, for hearsay, you have 200 million. Do you feel in a hole because you wouldn't really know where to even invest that money under this manager?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think we definitely need one midfielder, regardless of the system. I'm a bit sad because I hear people talking about two midfielders now, and it makes me a little bit sad because I thought we had one in Mainoo, and now obviously I'm being made to say that we need two midfielders.
Yeah.
I think if you go down the route of wing backs, I think you're a mentalist and you need your eyes tested. If you start investing in wing backs, I just think you're a lunatic. I don't see the point. And who even is a wing back? You're either a poor failed winger, or
that's all it ever is.
Is there any specialist wing backs?
Is Perisic still knocking about?
Perisic is your man, innit? And players like Perisic. I mean, that's the thing, because if you have like good attacking fullbacks, like Dani Alves played in the back four because you can roll with him defensively and he's immense offensively. Yeah. Like, you don't need to play Alves in a fucking back five. It's ridiculous. Trent Alexander-Arnold is not great defensively. And look at the success Liverpool had with him in a back four. So you don't need to play. And the joke is that the players Amorim plays are probably better defensively than offensively, right?
Of course they are. Yeah, that goes without saying.
Whatever we think of Dorgu and Mazraoui particularly, if you were going to put their attributes in a list,
recovery pace for Dorgu, innit?
I would go, well, Mazraoui and Dorgu are better defenders than attackers, and he plays them in a fucking attacking system.
Yes,
it's completely backwards. And I said this: you can play Mazraoui and Dorgu 500 games at wing back. They will never be good there. You could play Casemiro and Bruno every single game. They're going to struggle in centre mid. They're not a good centre mid partnership. They're not. Their attributes don't stack up. They don't cover with intensity. They don't retain the ball. They don't really receive it under pressure. You know why Le Mans goes long? Is because he daren't roll it into either Casemiro or Bruno. They'd lose it.
Yeah.
Same with Ugarte. Ugarte will lose it. I mean, Mainoo's press resistant to a degree, but Mainoo is not on the pitch. He's not even like Mainoo could drop in and receive it in that role. He's not even on the grass.
Just one thing, Alex. What do you think about Cunha? How much of a concern is it at this point, or
Yeah, I
not?
think he's been. I think since Anfield away, where I thought he was excellent, I think he's been shy. I really do think he's been poor, and I thought he was crap tonight. I mean, Mbumo was awful tonight. I mean, he couldn't control the football tonight. I mean, that's a worry, right? I mean, look, these guys, like you said, you can't blame 343 for not controlling the football, mate. You were 60 million. And Cunha, I don't know if Cunha doesn't know what he is. Is he a ball carrier? Is he a hold-up player? Is he running behind? I don't think he knows what he is. But he's a good footballer, Cunha. I've seen it, so I don't know what's going on there. Like I said, is he overloaded in his head? Like, what is he? Where's he playing? I don't know.
Like Cunha looks neat and tidy on the ball, especially in some plays. But what was the main reason when I was hearing Man United are signing him and why you guys were so happy? Is like, look at the upgrade we've made, and he can actually bang. He can get some figures in for you. Now,
16 goals.
he has been underwhelming. I'm not gonna lie. Like, other than the few nice touches, I think he's having a very poor season.
He's got 1 goal, Christian. I mean,
he needs to be better.
And like, I don't think he was generally very good tonight. And the dribbling's reduced. Like that first game against Arsenal, he's carrying it 40 yards. Like I said, I don't know if it's a thing with him where he doesn't know that if you're going really glass half empty with Cunha and Mbumo, the biggest worry is how they play against low blocks, and this is the problem when you sign from poor sides. That are they used to doing damage with a lot of space? Because I'm starting to get a little bit concerned now with low block, easily defending these people. Like Brighton came out and played, and they were electric. Brighton played into our hands.
Yeah.
But tonight, West Ham were just so sitting. These are shit. Well, that's not good, mate. Like, Cunha and Mbumo got 36 goals between them last year.
Yeah.
You know, I'm worrying a little bit now. Like, yes, as bad as United are, we still face low blocks. Can you unlock them? Because Bruno can't where he plays. So in a way, it's just a little bit backwards, isn't it? Like, our best creative player is still Fernandes, in my opinion.
Yeah. Without a shadow of a doubt. I'd say another worry, Alex, is one thing with Manchester United as a club, and this is why I was bringing up before about the way they run and the lack of ambition. Yeah. I feel like the decision making up top, presuming that Amorim hasn't just been handed the keys, or this has to be run by certain people. Yeah. The Benjamin Sesko signing was never going to work. Me and you sat there and we were like, no, I don't know why they're doing it. It looks stupid. It is stupid. And United go and do it. And the joke is, they'll be probably still paying off Højlund to play somewhere else. And they've not even offloaded him permanent yet, have they?
Can you believe that they sat in a room in the summer and were like, do we get a midfielder? Do we get a striker? And they went with the striker option of Sesko over and ran with... Don't get this twisted. Ruben Amorim said, I'm going to play Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes in centre mid, and you don't think... I'm concerned at a wider level that at board...
Nobody raised any concerns.
Nobody went, hang on a minute. Yeah. You're not having fucking Sesko. If this is your plan, if you think we're going to sit here and watch you run Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro in a 2, you're not having Sesko. You can forget it. No, whether Sesko's good or not, just on position alone, there's 65 million. Forget that idea. You need to go and reinforce in centre mid if that is your base.
Yeah.
Because at times last year, like Ugarte and Mainu, you were looking at them like one's a bit of a road runner, one's good on the ball. At least you could go, there's a combination of attributes there. These two, they fucking treat the ball like a hand grenade, both of them. As soon as they get it, they just want to fucking launch it.
There's a part of me that has sympathy for the pair of them, really, because neither should be asked of the demands, really.
You imagine, Casemiro, Christian, his whole career has played at the base of a 3.
I know.
The 2 ahead of him, Toni Kroos and Luka Modric, neither of them are number 10s, really. They're proper 8s.
And neither of them lose the ball.
They care for possession, and then it's like... Oh, you're 34, your legs are going. Here's a reckless number 10 who treats the ball like a hand grenade. Also out of position right next to you. There you go, buddy. Please tread water in the system for us. It's like unbelievable how... Like I said, I don't know how they got to the point in the summer and went, okay, Cunha and Bumo, right, we've got 65 million left, right? Where's this going to go? Where's this going to go? Like, I mean, I'm glad they didn't spend it on Carlos Believer because he's not very good. But at the same time, there's midfielders out there for 60 million. You could have gone and got a centre mid. I mean, it's madness. It's just insane. I don't understand the planning around it. And are they just as clueless? Do they think that this is going to work? Like, at what point do you think the board will be worried because they don't? You know, there seems to be no pressure on Amorim and he's 8th. Do you think if we dropped to, let's say we beat Wolves and then we get 1 point out of the next 3, Villa, Newcastle and Bournemouth, I reckon we'll be 13th, give or take, maybe 14th. Yeah. Do you think if after the next 4 games we're sitting 13th or 14th, do you think the pressure will be ramped up then? Or do you still think they'll just be like, well, let's see how the next 18 games go? Like, what do you think? I don't know.
Honestly, I think United are one of them clubs that are kind of run off the way the fans go. So I think if it became untenable with a huge portion of the support, then maybe that would lump pressure. But this is what I feel. I feel the Man United board is reactionary. I don't feel like they act on anything. I feel like they lack common sense because of the things you've just said. You know what I mean? No one would sit in a room, Alex, and go along with his plan. If he openly admitted that, you've just said it yourself. Casemiro at his age, he's never played at the base of a 2. Now, why would you start doing it now and putting him next to a guy like Bruno Fernandes, who also, you know, I know everyone's going to tell me now that is his position. Well, it's not though, is it? Come on. It's not his position and we all fucking know it. Bruno would tell you that himself. You think if you sat with Bruno, he'd honestly tell you that's his favourite position on the pitch? Would he fuck? You know what I mean? So, in answer to your question, Alex, I feel like I said before, it will have to be on the same level or very close to it to last season. I'm talking 14th. I'd say from 13th below, I'd say he'll get sacked. I think if you're above 13th, I think he's honestly probably still in a job. And that's my honest opinion.
Let's give up.
Because, bro, I'll tell you exactly. You think, right? So for you to finish 12th, you will go and pick up some points in games that people would write you off in. And you'll go and get the odd win. You could beat us maybe at home, for instance. And you know it'll be just about enough. Because the top Reds will say, no, there's progress. Look at that game. And it doesn't matter. They don't look at the bigger picture, mate. And I think that's it. You're basing it on Ruben Amorim as a coach over a full season, sorry. And I feel like some others do not do the same thing.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, it's not about tonight. It's not about Monday. It's not about Bournemouth. We've played 14 league games this year and we've won 6 of them.
How many games now, Alex? So he's won 13 games, right? How many games is that out of?
Tonight was his 41st Premier League game as Manchester United manager.
I just, honestly, I don't know how any Man United fan would say that's enough or that's adequate. That is not the level. I think Amorim himself would even admit that's not enough.
Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it? I mean, that's the thing of, you know, it's all hypotheticals. If you Amorim in, it's all ifs and buts and what if this happened. Yeah. If you haven't had balls, should be your uncle.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the point. That's the point I say to all these idiots that just made me laugh, that comment tonight on if we beat West Ham tonight, and that's like if they're a fucking 18th, by the way. Like it should.
Oh, no, it's not. It should be when, yeah.
even the Amorim inners are not like fucking when we beat West Ham tonight, they're like if we beat West Ham we're 5th. Well, we didn't, and we're 8th, and then we've got a gimme on Monday, which let's be honest, nobody's confident on that. And then you've got 3 absolute biggies, and I don't see us coming out of those 3 biggies alive. I don't. I think we'll be bottom half after them 3. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion. I don't think Newcastle at home is going to go well. I think it's a definite loss. I think Villa away is a loss, and like you said, it's the Bournemouth one. Like, can you scab a result then maybe? But I do not think I think we're getting 0 from Newcastle and Villa. I think Newcastle's an awful matchup for United. They play a midfield 3, a proper midfield 3, a workhorse 3.
Yeah, they'll boss you.
Joelinton, Tonali, and Bruno Guimaraes against Bruno and Casemiro is suicide. and I know he's going to do it. I know Amarim's going to pick them too. So
yeah, they'll swamp you. They will just absolutely swamp you. And
Villa are sort of similar with Kamara, Rodgers, and Onana. I mean, they're not. I mean, I know Rodgers is more of a 10 than, Newcastle play a flat 3. Villa play a 4-2-3-1, but at the same time, Kamara and Onana are fucking monsters. So
exactly.
I can see them eating.
And Rodgers is a workhorse as well, in fairness to him.
Yeah. So like I said, I think those two are shocking. And then you've got what you're doing. You're playing heads or tails with a Semenyo masterclass in the other game.
For me, Alex, as well. So if you're looking at it and you go, so Ruben Amorim's currently the manager now. If anyone comes in, say, and I mean anyone, I'm not saying you should go and get someone like this, but you say Sean Dyche comes in, right, and he just plays players in their fucking positions that they're comfortable in, and he rolls out your best 11 week in, week out.
Yeah.
Now, you are telling me that United fans as a whole will go, no, I see what Amorim's doing, we're going to stick with that. Now, in my opinion, in keeping with Ruben Amorim, you are playing with a handicap. Now, all a new manager needs to come in and do is be competent and do what I just said, play a normal formation and play the players in the positions they're comfortable in. The handicap goes, you go up the table, you will pick up more points. I am telling you that fact. And anyone that disagrees, I don't understand where you are watching these games.
I said it to you after the beginning of the season, Christian, if Gareth Southgate was the Manchester United manager, floundering in mid-table, playing a back 5, playing half the team out of position, benching Kobbie Mainoo, would the Stretford end be singing Gareth Southgate?
Yeah.
He'll bring the glory days again. No, they wouldn't. They'd be wanting to assassinate Gareth Southgate. Why is it different for this guy? He's won a couple.
So true.
He's won a couple of Portuguese titles for Sporting Lisbon, and he's got the leash to do whatever he wants, and we'll blame the players.
Alex, no, you're so right. I don't understand with a guy with such pedigree, so little pedigree other than these Portuguese titles, which, they don't hold much weight, especially when you're coming over to England. I don't see why he's getting this support. What do you think it is? In fact, he's young.
Look, United fans are obsessed. I think to something I watched in the summer after game 2 of Fulham. So we lost the first one to Arsenal, which was the almighty 1-0 loss that we were amazing in, and then we drew to Fulham 1-1 in the game. We did a watch along on it, and I remember watching Stretford Paddock after it, and the ball bloke, I can't remember his name, might be Jay, and they were talking about the game, and they were like 1 point from the first 2 games, not very good, big pressure going into the Burnley game, if you remember that was game 3.
Yeah.
And he was sat there, that Jay, going, look, I think he'll get it right, he'll figure it out. And he was talking so flippantly like it was a given.
Yeah.
And it really stuck with me in a way of how obviously he works on a massive platform, Man United fan channel, and he was talking so arrogantly, it was just a matter of, whereas I was, after the Fulham game, I was like, it's just so dead. It would have took 6 points out of 6 for me to swing, really, after pre-season. And you've got 1 point out of the first 2, which was Fulham, and I think we nearly tossed that away at the end. And you've got people on big fan channels going, it's just a foregone conclusion, Ruben Amorim will figure it out. And not knowing, it stuck with me a little bit. I mean, I don't watch loads of United content because they fucked me off, but it just stuck with me a little bit. You know how it's like, it's like such a given with this guy, and people that I speak to, who think that Amorim's the guy, and we get a lot of comments about it, and like I said, the main one was the fixture list shit, and that's been completely destroyed because we've got 1 win in 5, and the 4 we didn't win are in the bottom half, so that's no good.
Exactly, and I think
better not make that 5 on Monday.
God, that will round it off, won't it? The thing is, the freedom he gets and the allowances by the fan base, you would expect it to, say you had Carlo Ancelotti, someone with just a huge CV, boast titles galore. You'd be like, right, do you know what? I can see this, why there's a split in the fan base, because we've got to go back and look what he's done. So you have that trust that this guy will get it right. That's the only reason that fella, I don't even know who he is, but if him or someone like him was saying that about a said Carlo Ancelotti, you'd be like, I can see why there's this split, and some people will trust. Yeah. However, saying that about Ruben Amorim based on his CV, I feel it's not.
Who do you think's got better stock, Ruben Amorim or Gareth Southgate?
Gareth Southgate, 100%.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he's managed at a higher level, and in my opinion, getting to a World Cup semi-final and getting to a Euros final twice. I think that holds more weight.
Yeah, I do. I don't think winning 2 leagues for Sporting Lisbon. I think he was there 4 years as well, so it's 2 out of 4. It's not like he was like automatic.
And I think, Alex, another thing with Gareth Southgate as well, and it's not like, well, listen, I don't care. The longer he stays, the better. United are fucking terrible. But if you were to have gone and got Southgate, then, like you said, the pressure would be massively on him at this point. But Southgate's already shown you through when he was managing England, he's very flexible. And he will try things. You know what I mean? The guy will go down swinging. He did everything in his power to try and get England over the line, but it couldn't work. You know what I mean? He couldn't get over it.
You know as well, like sometimes, like you look at Southgate's a really good example because obviously he's got this awful reputation. People dislike Southgate, and I think of that last Euros campaign. I think it was his worst as England manager. We got to the final and lost in the last minute to the best team. Yeah. But if you remember in the group stages, I'm going to go with Arnold in centre mid, right? Didn't have an obvious centre mid. Mainu probably didn't have the experience. I'm going to go with Mainu. Going to go with Trent. And then after a couple of games, I'm going to go with Gallagher in game 3. And then it was like, you know what? It's not working. I've had 3 group games. Gallagher's not great. Trent really looked out of his depth in centre mid, which is expected. And he went, and he effectively went, hold my hands up, I got it fucking wrong. So I'm going to go with Mainu in the knockout stages. Mainu hadn't played a group game. I think he came on in maybe 1. So Slovakia, we was in Germany for the game. Yeah. Kobe Mainu started that game. And Gareth Southgate, Gareth Southgate had the balls to go, you know what, I hold my hands up. Trent was a bad idea. Gallagher as a second option was a bad idea. And he did this continually. And then he went 3-4-3, ironically. With Saka at wing back to try and get Bellingham and Foden in their best positions. And this happened in a 7-game tournament in a month. And we've got a guy who's been here a year and he won't hold his hands up and go, right, we haven't got the wing backs to play 3-4-3. I will play a back 4. And he's been here a year. People hate Southgate. United fans hate him. If Southgate got announced as manager tomorrow, United fans would try and assassinate him.
Yeah.
And you know what Gareth Southgate showed me over how many tournaments? 4 tournaments that he's got the balls to say I was wrong in something, to change something, to try and win games. This guy's ego. That's all he cares about. He's playing 3-4-3 because of his ego.
Yeah, it does feel like that. To be honest, Alex, I said last season, and when we kept talking, and obviously it can get a little bit boring because we just keep talking about the system and it not working. But I honestly thought he's protecting himself for future roles, and that it shows he's resilient and that he will never change, and this is his way or the highway. Protecting his own interests. However, where I think that fails is that me personally looking on as a fan, obviously that's all we are, not fucking professionals. I'm not a board, so I don't know. Do they look at a manager that is insisting on playing a failing system that will do this and let him down throughout the whole season? Do they look at that as, this guy's resilient, he doesn't bow to pressure, yet he also is arrogant and will just keep fucking losing? Whereas I would rather a manager like Southgate who recognises his shortcomings and he's like, do you know what, no, I'm going to try something. And do you know what, if that goes wrong, I'll try something else. I'll fucking keep swinging.
That's the thing, isn't it? It's in that, you know, as well, like, you've been here a year, not really working. Even in this last 5 games, we've won 1 in the last 5. To not just go, I'll just try something else, actually. I'll start with a different system against West Ham at home, or I'll start with a different system against Wolves on Monday. Like, we're in a United are in bad form. People will try and tell you things are better. We've won 1 in 5.
Alex, I honestly think I think Ruben Amorim is the worst manager in the league.
I think there's definitely an argument for that, because it's just common sense. It's not even football. Even if you just think about your own job, or anything you do as a profession, if you're struggling doing something that way, you change it. You try and think, how can I be better in my role? How can I program better, plan better? He just runs it back. He'll run it back on Monday. Who knows? Who knows? You never know. Look, Wolves are at home Monday night. The best players are centre mid. Is it João Gomez? Number 8? Is it João Gomez?
I think that's the thing, Alex. I think if you look at, people would come for me on that comment and be like, that's ridiculous. And they pick a team that's below Man United or near the bottom of the table and they go, that's the manager that's worse. No, the reason I'm saying Amorim is for the exact reasons you just said, Alex. He does not. He looks at games where there is obvious shortcomings and he does not adjust it in any way. And he rolls the same shit out again and he makes the same decisions in game. It is predictable. He keeps repeating the same things that are going wrong. That is why I genuinely think he is the worst manager in the Premier League right now.
What's the definition of insanity, Christian?
Exactly. Repeating it and expecting different results. He's an idiot.
Like I said, if you, I remember managers that have been sacked, other than Ten Hag, who lost his marbles in the summer. Jose. I wanted Jose sacked. But in fairness to Jose, I'm going to keep playing Lukaku because he was good for me the season before. Lukaku was shy in that second season. Yeah. But Jose was like, no, I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with him because he's my guy and I'm going to go down with him. And he did go down with Lukaku and he went down with Matic and he went down with Pogba. And the same with Ollie. We spoke about that where it's going to be like, Martial was brilliant after COVID. I'm going to keep playing Martial as my striker. I'm going to play him on the left when Cavani comes in. I'm going to keep doing it because I trust him to get back to his level. He never did. And the thing is with this, it's like, what are you hanging your hat on? What are you hoping to happen? I'd love to sit down with Amorim and go, you tell me what you're expecting to be better on Monday than tonight, or Everton, or Spurs, or Forest. You tell me what you think's going to go better on Monday, because I know it's going to be a slog. We ain't going to blow Wolves away 4-0, Christian.
I so agree with your point there, though, Alex, to be fair, when you're saying about these other managers that have stuck by certain players. But, yeah, and we can disagree with it at the time because we can give our points in going, no, right now they're not that player. Yeah, but they're trusting them with some sort of backing. You can see why they're doing it. Like you're saying with Lukaku and Jose, he was going, well, no, because he was my guy. He did have a good season, so I trust in him that he's going to do that again. What he is doing is trusting something that hasn't ever worked, and he's currently showing it still isn't working. That is madness.
Yeah. Definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again with negative results, right?
Yeah.
And when I say negative results,
Crazy.
I don't mean losses and draws. I mean actually, performances being poor. And tonight I was just bored. Honestly, Christian, I was just actually a bit bored. I actually just wanted a bit of I'd probably take a 3-all. Honestly, I'd probably take a 4-3 loss at this point. And actually,
Alex, are you flabbergasted that you're obviously on the waiting list with your little lad to get a season ticket there? Now I know if you already had one, you'd be in the crowd and like me. How much am I paying for this year? And I'm watching this shit, and it's going on, and there's no pressure on this guy. Seemingly, the board isn't lumping pressure on him. The board isn't laying down specific targets. We don't even know what he has to achieve to keep his job or what he has to do to lose it. Now, can you believe that these guys in the ground right now don't have any sort of ambition in terms of, no, I want him out if this is happening. If this carries on, he needs to go. There seems to be nothing, just an acceptance from the fans to the board. It's a mess.
I don't know what they're thinking. I don't, is it just a saving face thing with Ineos? We cannot hold our hands up and admit.
I don't think they give a shit, mate. I don't think they give a shit.
You know what makes me laugh with United fans? They're quick to protest and stuff like that. But like you said perfectly tonight, 60th minute, they're singing the name of Ruben Amorim after the mighty Diogo Dalot puts us 1-0 up, and then at the end they're booing.
Yeah.
So if you're one of them people who was singing Amorim's name then booed at full time, I think you're a fucking moron.
Yeah. And Alex, there was a big portion because a lot of the ground was singing his name, and there was a fair set of boos at the end. So I guarantee there's a huge portion of that crowd probably have season tickets, did exactly what you just said. And this is the thing, but them same fans will say fans like you are the issue. They need to fucking have a word with themselves. They need to look themselves in the mirror.
What's TikTok saying? TikTok's always a good place for it. Let's have a look at my mate here. I replied to him before just going, I just quote marked, if we beat West Ham. Oh, shock, he's not replied. You know what's funny? A guy was arguing with me about Euro, and we've actually bonded in the comments over a guy saying he likes hammering.
Yeah. Oh, I did see it. He said at least we agree on one thing.
Yeah,
that right.
It's just so funny. We were just like arguing about Euro, and then this guy, what's he called? Chaz J7. He's just like he came in. And he's like, if we beat Thingy tonight, oh god, he's not actually replying. Where is he?
Well, he's not going to, is he?
Yeah, I just put that's it. That's one of your ifs done then, Dross.
Well, that's it though, mate. I told you what will happen there is all the idiots that are moaning at you, that they will keep quiet, and then they will quote tweet you back when you get one win out of the next 3.
That's it, Christian. We've got one.
And that's good enough.
We've got one win in 5 games, and 4 of the 5 games have been against bottom half teams. Ironically, the one we won is actually a team that's above us in the league, which is Palace. But again, asterisks, they had 3 games rest, they've no squad, and we scrambled over the line in that. But everyone said,
Alex, just
wait for the fixtures, wait for the easy games. Well, we can't win them.
The easy games are the problem for United. You'd rather have City away because you actually have a bit of a puncher's chance. And to be fair, our setup and a lot of these teams that will go and try and swat United, you have a better chance because that system, the one thing it does do is it helps you in them scenarios. Because 100%. For counter-attacks, you are more handy.
I mean, think about the games. So I said there, we've played 14 games this season. We've not won 8 of them, right? And if you actually like go through the teams, so out of that 8, obviously City pumped us. Other than City, let's go through the list. Like Brentford, loss. Fulham, draw. Forest, draw. Tottenham, draw. Everton, loss. West Ham, draw. All really average to poor sides. All of them are bottom half teams. Every bottom half team we've played this season. Wow, this might be a stat. Every bottom half team we've played this season, except Burnley, we have not beaten. And this is everyone telling me about the fixtures. Wait till the fixtures calm down. We've had Chelsea, we've had Arsenal, we've had City, we've had Liverpool. You wait for that little easy run, early December. You wait. They're
as mad, Alex. They're as mad as in.
They're just desperate for anything, aren't they? Like it's the same thing with the youth team. That do you remember that Chido Obi post that I did, and people were calling me fucking racist on it because I criticised a guy who can't control the ball. This is just what they're like. They're obsessed with shit. Like this Euro thing. I'm not having a go at Euro.
Where's he now? Where's old Chido Obi?
Chido Obi can't even got the bench, and we can't score goals against relegation fodder. But
well, he was the next big thing according to Top Reds, Alex. And dare you even criticise him?
Mate, they call me racist because I criticise the fucking guy who can't control the ball, man.
This is social media for you, bro.
And this is the thing of like they just say shit all the time. Like, this will just go and that's the thing. I feel a bit bad because, like, I posted the Euro thing because I'm like, I don't actually mind Euro, but, like, it's just because it's the next Rio and United fans grade me with the next.
Yeah. It's a build-up. It's a continuity.
I actually think out of everyone, Euro is actually okay. Like, I'm actually not that bothered about Euro. Do I think he's got a high ceiling of, like, world-class? No. But that doesn't... I'm not annoyed with... I'm not looking at Euro like losing my shit over here.
Yeah, he's not the peak of your problems.
No, I thought he came on today, and I thought he was fine. Euro tonight, and I think
he did let that ball bounce though, didn't he?
Yeah. Man, I did.
Oh, you just rage bait and just fucking clip that and put it.
But that's the thing. He doesn't like grate me as much as like the Garnacho. He's 18 shit because I knew Garnacho was crap. With Euro, I think there's a puncher's chance he could become very good. I mean, like I would not be hanging my hat on it based on what I've seen, but I think there's actually attributes to Euro that I can see. But it's just funny how I post a video on Euro and everyone loses their shit about it, where I'm not a United fan, I'm the problem and all this stuff, and it's like, hang on a minute, I just gave my opinion on a player that I just don't rate that highly. Like, I'm not having a go, like, and really, in the grand scheme of things, I'm not like that down with Euro. Like, I just don't think that, I think for me it's more next Rio. The next.
Yeah. It's the constant daft comparisons,
That's all I was meaning with it, but it's the United fans just... They love it, don't they? They absolutely love it. They love a prospect, and they love a shit manager.
That's it. Yeah, with no pressure whatsoever. They're not going to. I just don't think any of them really. If you were to ask any of these guys that are hammering in, you know what would be funny, Alex? If you grouped them all into a fucking hall, into a sports hall, and you went, I want every single one of you to tell me what's breaking point, when do you sack him? I guarantee they'd all be like, it's not as easy as that, and it'd be all going around the fucking houses. And I guarantee, Alex, if he got relegated, there'd be a few of them that would go, no, he's not the problem. I guarantee you, United, just answer me this. You're a United fan, so you know better than me. I can only say this from the outside looking in. You know your own fan base, though. Do you think, I'd say Arsenal are up there as well with this. Do you think, though, they are the most defensive and delusional in terms of when something clearly isn't working? They just think it's a brag or a boast to say, no, we stick with it, this isn't us. And they think in some way it sort of vindicates them and makes them like more of a loyalist, than someone that will just go, no, it isn't working, simple, move him on.
Yeah, definitely, because I get comments all the time going, your job as a United fan is to support the club. So I can guarantee you're factually right with that. There's United fans that will blind witness everything because they think that's their job. And really, I look at like Real Madrid and I look at Bayer Leverkusen this year, Christian. They had Ten Hag. He started awful. They sacked him after 2 games. Do you remember? Everyone's like, that's not right. How can you do that to a manager after 2 games? Bayer Leverkusen are 3rd, and they're probably going to progress to the playoffs in the Champions League. Who was right? Was Bayer Leverkusen's fans who called the shit out right? Because I guarantee the ones, for all I know, every Bayer Leverkusen fan might hate Ten Hag. I know how bad he is. But at the same time, there'll have been people on there, neutrals maybe on Twitter, probably United fans defending it. And it's like they're all going, oh, you can't sack a manager after 2 games. Well, look where Bayer Leverkusen are now. They're 3rd in the Bundesliga after getting waxed in their first 2 games under Ten Hag. So I look at Forest, not happy. Don't want Ange, never wanted Ange, wanted Nuno. Don't want Ange, booing them off. You're getting sacked in the morning. Sean Dyche comes in, they're going to comfortably stay up. They might have a half-decent season. Sean Dyche they'll be a tough out. Forest will be a tough out over 2 legs in Europe, Christian. I promise you.
Yeah, they're doing all right, aren't they? I think that's the thing. So. United, it's all like teams' objectives at the start of the season. It's all, relevant to them. So, we can't make comparisons to what United's objectives will be at the start of the season to say that of a Forest. But what we're talking about is how far they fall from their respective targets at the start of the year to where they're at now. Now, like you said, Forest fans are calling for it because they're like, no, this is far below the level that we think is adequate. Now, Man United fans do not do that. Or Man United fans on a whole don't do that. And that's where I just feel a bit lost in terms of how you can just get away with underperforming at your role, trusting players that are letting you down week in, week out and never changing it. And to be quite honest, he's letting himself down. But there needs to be no change. And it's just, he'll work it out. He won't work it out because he's been doing the same thing now since he came. So what tells you that he's going to work it out?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting in these next 4 games. And I'm saying 4 because I am chucking Wolves in that. Because I even think, like I said, I think the performance is important to know. It better be look, anything other than a win it should just be a straight sacking on the pitch.
I mean, tonight borderlines that, but I agree with you. But what do you think though, Alex? If you lose against Wolves, do you honestly think, and I'm not talking about whether you would want him sacked, obviously I know the answer to that.
Yeah.
But do you think Man United as a board will actually get rid of him?
Probably not. And you know what as well, I've noticed this with the Everton thing when I posted a video on that on TikTok, and they'll just blame the players. They'll just they should just beat Wolves in any system, and that's what it'll be on Monday. If we don't beat Wolves, it'll be why do they even need a manager? Which is mad.
Yeah, exactly. Why employ a manager then? If that's your excuse, what's the point? Just have Bruno playing player manager.
Yeah, just let 11 players walk out there. Like, it doesn't matter if that's what he's saying. If you can't hold the manager accountable in these games. So I know exactly what will happen. Like tonight's in that category of
who do they blame? Because West Ham are like a poor side, but they're not the worst side in Prem history. But Wolves will be in the 10-men Everton category for top Reds. It'll be if we don't win, other players just sack them all. When in reality the system's so dysfunctional, it is possible that the worst team in Prem history could get something Monday. That's the truth of it.
Yeah.
And like we spoke about this on the podcast episode, and we said, if your players are not that good, not that consistent, put them in their best positions possible to get the most out of them.
Give them the best chance.
What Amorim does is he's got inconsistent players who maybe aren't good enough and puts them in positions that they don't want to play, and then we have worse results and fans back it.
Alex, just here's a question for you. I agree with everything you just said, by the way, but here's a question. So if Man United pulled the plug tonight and they were like, this is fucking not good enough, we've not seen any progress under your tenure, do you think any Premier League clubs touching Ruben Amorim?
No, I don't. I think they'd be mental. I think it'd be like the Ange thing, where he'd probably go somewhere and there's no way you would. I mean, the flexibility alone, Christian, right? I mean, even if you think Amorim is a good coach, you would just look at the flexibility and the lack of, and just go the lack of ability to look at a team and go, actually a 4-5-1 might work, a 4-2-3-1 might, a diamond might work. To just not have that even ability to think or do like that, I don't think anybody would want to touch him with a barge pole, because I think whatever we all think, I want a manager to be able to play multiple systems because different opponents offer different challenges. So I think of if the best managers in the world tweak systems to do things, even if they have their core principles, and he's too proud to, why would you? If you're like you said, it's going to be bottom half team, right? It's going to be let's hypothetically pluck one. Fulham. Let's say Fulham sack Marco Silva in 2 years' time. Are they going to touch Amorim when they know that Fulham have got to get a result at Chelsea, or Fulham have got to host City and he's going to play the same system against whoever? If it's Wolves away or City at home, he's going to play 3-4-3. They're not going to want that.
And that's the joke, Alex. When I was asking that question, I wasn't saying, would a top European giant like Atletico Madrid or Bayern Munich or someone like that take him? I'm saying, would anybody in the Premier League, a low table team, would they take him? Your answer is no, and I agree. Because, I do think an owner would look at it, like, for instance, that Marinakis, love him or hate him, whatever your opinion is on that guy. I know he's a bit outspoken, and he does come up with a bit of a madness, but he fucking cares about the club. You know what I mean? I bet they're not. They might all say, other opposition fans might say he's a fat bastard or whatever. But I tell you what, were Forest fans happy that he pulled that madness with Morgan Gibbs-White and they kept the best player? Damn right they were, because he cares. You know what I mean? He could have just easily took the money and lined his bank account. He doesn't. He cares about the club. Man United, I don't think they give a shit. I mean, I saw that interview. After that interview with bloody Scruffy Bollocks, we've not seen him since, and to be fair, I think anyone doesn't really want to hear from him if you're a United fan, because you'd fear about what he comes out with. I mean, what could he say?
Well,
are you happy, Jim? Was this the plan? No, but it'll be like Alex. It'll be like that dude on Stretford Paddock. It'll be like, he'll work it out.
Yeah, the arrogance of that guy, man. Wow. It's just unbelievable. I don't know where they get it from. I don't know what they're watching. Like I said, I need that new telly.
The favourite manager, that's where they get it from.
I need that new TV fucking desperately, man. I'm fucking nodding off on the sofa laughing at Dorgu's crosses. And I've got people going, fucking hell, he's gonna figure it out. He's gonna bring the glory days again. I'm in the front room on my own having a beer laughing.
Yeah, he'll figure it out when Dorgu figures out how to cross.
Yeah, that's it. When Patrick Dorgu turns into Ryan Giggs, he'll bring the glory days again. Can we change the song?
Yeah.
When Bruno Fernandes turns into N'Golo Kante, he'll bring the glory days again. Christian, hour and a half of fucking talking about how shit United are.
I don't know how we've done it, but we got there, our kid, didn't we? So.
We do it. I know. I think we've got to call it. It's my Christmas do tomorrow, so I'm going to go there and just try and forget that we're playing Wolves on my... It's going to be...
I hope there's someone. I hope there's an Amorim in there just to really wind your night up.
Oh God!
It'll be that's instant dismissal. Fight on Christmas do territory.
I remember like 3 years ago, it was like during the Qatar World Cup, Christmas do, and Messi was in the middle of like one of the most insane tournaments anybody's ever played in World Cup history, and I had a guy telling me that Ronaldo's better. So I was doing my right, well, what's he better at in that? You know, like I do.
Passive aggressive.
Right, and then I start listing attributes, finishing, dribbling like this. And I just went, who's the better passer? And he said Ronaldo, and I just started howling in this like sarcastic, offensive laugh.
Oh my God.
And I've not spoken to him since. I saw him, I remember seeing him making a brew, and I'm like, alright.
Alex, you don't speak with madness though, do you? Cristiano Ronaldo's a better passer than Lionel Messi. Fucking hell. What an idiot! Like, Alex, you've got the greatest passers of the world. Where I remember De Bruyne got asked right in an interview, and he was like, they said, do you think you're the greatest passer, one of the greatest passers of all time? And he was like, no, Messi, in that way. Right, so you've got some of the best passers ever, and they just don't even consider themselves in the argument.
I love a bit of a debate, but it was just, I mean, that's the thing. I didn't even shout back at that. It was that blasphemous. I just left him to it.
I like a debate, but I've got no time for nonsense.
Yeah, it was just madness. I mean, this is, obviously you remember 4th of December, we're probably two or three or four games into the Qatar World Cup at this point. And he continued to get better from this point to the final.
Yeah.
And Ronaldo was benched, was he, in that tournament? So yeah, man, it was just hilarious. But yeah, that obviously, if he's about, I'm going to see what he thinks of this fucking abomination. He probably thinks 3-4-3 is good and Ronaldo's a better passer than Messi.
Oh God, Alex, did you see that thing with Ronaldo just before we shoot off? Did you see that thing with Ronaldo that they've like put a suspension on the back so he can play? I bet Portuguese fans were like, "Fucking hell, we were looking forward to one good game."
Roberto Martinez, he's like, "For fuck's sake,
gotta play him now. That's him in every game."
I know. Right, thank you, Christy, for joining me. Appreciate that. Look, we'll be back with more stuff next week, maybe a little rebrand, and we will see you on the next one. Thank you.